Awesome. So welcome everyone. This is the Campus Life webinar today. We're super excited to have you. My name is Michaela Tusberg. I'm the visit coordinator for our office at the Office of Admissions and Recruitment. So my job today is to kind of facilitate everyone. If you lose internet, feel free to hop back in. We want to make sure that you get the most out of this presentation for you all so that you feel prepared coming into the fall semester. So it is kind of non-traditional. We would be normally in person for a lot of these presentations and content. So what's really great is that we have great features like the chat, so we can make sure that your questions are getting answered. And just know that we're here as a resource to make sure that you feel prepared for that transition into college life. And so I'm going to introduce what my role within this is. And so basically, if you have any questions, feel free to put that in the chat. I'll kind of be monitoring that. But really take advantage of our student peer mentors that are here. They'll introduce themselves shortly, but they are also navigating that chat too. So if you have a private question that you want to ask that you don't want to disclose your name with or anything like that, they can kind of field those questions for you and ask that to our presenters today as well. So Keegan, if you want to start off with an introduction and then bounce it off to Alexis.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Michaela. Hi, everybody. My name is Keegan West, and I am a senior on campus, and I'm a peer mentor, so I'm doing a lot with the STAR registration. So feel free to ask me a question at any time. You can, if you don't know, I'm sure you're all experienced with Zoom so far, but just, yeah, hit the chat button below and then just press me or Alexis's name, and we are happy to answer any questions that you may have, and then we can bring them up in a Q&A session a little bit later. So some stuff about me, I'm from near La Crosse, Wisconsin. I work in the admissions department, and I'm also the program director of 90 FM. So if you have an interest in radio, shoot me a message about that because we love more people. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Remember to ask questions. We're here to help. Alexis?
Thanks, Keegan. All right, I'm Alexis. I'm also working as peer mentor this summer. So like Keegan said, feel free to shoot us some questions. If you don't really want to ask the whole group, we'll ask for you. I'm from Lee Center, Minnesota, so about 45 minutes from the Twin Cities. Yeah.
Sorry, I was typing, so I didn't want you guys to hear my keyboard. Awesome, so we'll kick it off. I do have a great presentation today, so I'm going to share my screen. And from there, we'll kind of jump into things. So, oops. All right, so you all should be able to see that screen. Like I said, if you have any specific questions, make sure to tailor those to your peer mentors. They're going to be able to see that chat more quickly than I will. And so from here, we're going to go into our introduction. We have our different presenters today. So kind of working down the list, if you guys could chime in and introduce yourself quickly.
All right, well, I will go first. I am Danielle Rosine. I use pronouns she, her, hers. I am the marketing and events coordinator for residential living. So I oversee our website, social media accounts, and anything that needs to be marketed, either print or electronic, I take care of that within our department. I will be doing the presentation today, but we also have another staff member with us from residential living, so I'll have her introduce herself.
Hello everyone, my name is Amanda Cook and I am the Housing Assignments Coordinator. I am responsible for your housing application and selection/assignment process. We also have two hall directors on the call with us today to answer any of your questions about life in the residence halls. So quickly shoot it off to them and then we'll get to the dining.
Hi, my name is Brittany Malak. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am the hall director for Burroughs Hall.
Hi, I'm Emily Johnson. I use she, her pronouns, and I am the hall director for Grayson's Hall.
And hello, I am Shane Beneski, and I am the branch manager here at US Bank in the Dreyfus University Center. So I'll be able to tell you a little bit more about US Bank, what we have for involvements around campus, as well as answering any kind of questions when it comes to finances and how you plan on managing your money, and just any other questions kind of related to finances I'm here for.
Hi everyone, I'm Suzette Conley. I'm the Director of Dining and Summer Conferences. I can answer any questions you might have about the meal program, about student employment with dining and summer conferences, about special diets, anything related to food on campus, I am more than happy to help you with.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for that introduction. We are going to kick it off next with our residential living.
All right, well, that is on to me. So welcome everyone. We are happy you are joining us today. So like I said, I'm Danielle with Residential Living. And do you want to move on to the next slide, Michaela? I'm assuming I don't have that capability, correct? Okay. All right. So at Residential Living, we have a very long mission statement. But the main part of it is building a safe and vibrant resident hall community of pointers. We're also really big on focusing on fostering our inclusive environment to provide safe and accessible and respectful community for our students. You can check out what Residential Living is about more on our website. We do have an About Us button, so you can find out more there. If you'd like to move to the next slide, please. So about our resident halls, we have 13 on campus, 12 are traditional style and 1 apartment style. Those 13 halls are on our main campus. We also have a marathon hall, which is located at our Wausau campus, but we're strictly focusing on main campus here in this slide. So most students with the traditional halls, you'll have the option to choose between what we call our North Dubois, South Dubois, and Allen quads. They do differentiate in some of the amenities that they provide, but more of that information, like I said, can be found on our website, and we'll get a little bit more into amenities as we get further along in the presentation. We also have specialty living options. So if you haven't already checked those out as you are filling out your housing application, make sure you do go on the website and take a look at those. If you are still in the housing application process, we offer quiet wings, gender inclusive bathrooms, and we've actually added on more to our halls, so that is really great. I believe we'll have a gender inclusive bathroom in almost all of our halls now. And we do have a breakdown of what halls offer the quiet wings, the gender inclusive floors, or gender inclusive bathrooms, my apologies, and alcohol free floors as well too on our website. So if you go into the specialty living link, you'll find those there broken down into what is provided in each hall. And then we're also big on sustainability. If you haven't known already, UWSP is a big supporter in being a green campus. So 5 halls use solar energy, and then all of our halls have recycling chutes where you can take part in recycling that are plastic and aluminum and other types of materials. We have that all listed. So that's on every floor of every resident hall. And if you want to move into the next slide. So our housing campus requirement, we do require that all UWSP students live in the halls within their first 2 years per the Board of Regents, or the Board of Regents system policy. So our campus, UWSP, we define that as your high school graduation date. So as you see on the screen here in the PowerPoint, we have an example here. So those who have graduated high school in spring of 2020 will need to live on campus for at least the 2 years, which means come fall of 2022 is your first time that you can live off campus. However, those students who live within a 40-mile radius within Stevens Point can live with their legal guardian or parents and commute back and forth from their residence there as long as they're within that 40-mile radius. You can move into the next slide, please. All right. So what is your traditional room hall gonna look like? Well, as you see here, we kind of have that floor plan layout for you. And as you see, all resident rooms are gonna come with 2 desks. This also includes a desk light that is within kind of like the shelving hutch part we like to call. 2 chairs, 2 beds, 2 dressers, 2 closets, and 2 mirrors. So as you see that floor plan, that's basically how it's going to be set up when you come move in, but you are welcome to move the furniture within the room when you do arrive. The other thing we provide on our website, and we would have provided if we would have been in person, but you can always print this off at home, is our What to Bring to College It has a list of things we highly suggest you should bring. And then also on the back are kind of items you should probably leave at home. They're not really necessary, and things that we don't allow within the resident halls. So that will give you a better idea as what would be best to bring in the room with you. All right, if you want to move into the next slide. All right, so getting involved. We do have many options for students on campus. We also like to see our first year students get involved with becoming a front desk worker, desk receptionist. What we like to say about that job is you can basically work where you live, meaning you can go right from your room straight down to the front desk. Not a far commute, so when it's really cold outside in the winter, you don't got far to go. So it's a great job. You get to know a lot of people, and you get to really help out those within your hall. The other thing we really want to focus on too for new students is attend hall events and activities. Really get to know those that are in your hall, really get to know the community that you're in and that you're part of. Is going to be a big important thing. So make sure you check out those events when you come to campus and really get involved with those. And then that kind of leads into our third bullet point, which is leadership team. It works very similar kind of as like a student council. So, taking part of that, and, you can even help create and put on those events that the halls put on. So really take advantage of these things to really, dive yourself into the college experience. And if you would like to move on to the next slide, please. Okay, so your home, this is where we get into the amenities part, as I kind of mentioned a little bit before regarding the halls. So all the resident halls offer laundry services, mail and package pickup, floor kitchens, and all resident rooms are ready with Wi-Fi and cable hookup connections. So you'll have that. And then at the front desk with your student ID, your point card, which will be discussed a little bit further in this presentation, you're going to be able to check out certain items. So items can be anywhere from sporting supplies, games, cooking, and bakeware. So all you'll need is just that point card to check those out, which is really great for you as a student because you don't have to bring all those extra things with you. It's already provided for you within the halls. And if you want to move on to the next slide. All right, so safety, security, and privacy. We love to let our students know that our halls are locked 24/7. So what we have in bold there is to always carry your room key and safe lock with you at all times. That is very, very important because those are going to get you into the hall and then into your resident room. Your card swipe works very similar as to like a hotel swipe card that gets you into the residence at the front doors. And then your room key is going to be like a regular physical key that would get you into your resident room. So you're going to have two parts there, but just make sure that you always have those on you. We do have front desk coverage daily, where you can pick up your mail, your packages, check things out at the desk. They're there as resources, so that's what the front desk there is for. We also have student and professional staff within the halls as well too. They're there to help with mediations of roommates, maintenance concerns, emergencies, policies, other types of things. And then the other thing we like to also mention is our FERPA. It's the Family Education Rights and Privacy Act. So if anything were to come about within the resident halls, we can only share information with the student themselves, meaning we cannot share that information out to anybody else, and that's including parents and legal guardians. So anything regarding the student is going to be strictly with the student. If you want to move into the next slide, please. So then, as mentioned a little bit earlier in the last slide, we have live-in staff within the resident halls, and that's where we dive in more into this slide. So we are going to have resident assistants. You will probably start to hear the term RA, which is our acronym short for resident assistants, but they're your upper class students who live on each floor of the resident halls, and they're there to serve as your resources, your roommate mediations. They're there, for your questions, your concerns. Your other component of the resident hall is your hall director. They're your professional live-in staff. Our hall directors have master's degrees, so they're there, as counselors. They're there for help and support as well too. They're even your resources for what you need. So make sure you seek out either your resident assistant or your hall director when you are living in your resident halls. They are a great support team and they're a great resource for you. If you want to move into the next slide, please. So then how to apply. So some of you probably already have your housing application done. Great, that is awesome. Some of you might not, that's okay too. We're still accepting applications all summer, as you see there. We even have the link, so make sure you can copy it if you can on your screen and or head over to our website to apply. And also we want to mention, if you don't have a roommate in mind, we can still match you. So there is a preference section in your housing application where you'll say, do you like to wake up early? Do you like to stay up late? We're gonna try and match you with somebody that has similar living lifestyle habits as you so that we can pair you together. However, if you want to try and have a roommate, highly suggest, there's a Facebook group and other types of ways. Just try and get out there and get to know other students if you want to try and find a roommate yourself. All right, move on to the next slide, please. And then your housing assignment. So new students will be able to select a space if your housing application is complete by June 15th. So how that is going to work is we will still accept housing applications after June 15th, because like we said in the previous slide, we're accepting applications all summer. So those who apply after the June 15th deadline will still get to select a room via a time slot, and the time slot will be sent to your UWSP email with the information and the instructions on how to do that, all right? So make sure you keep track of your UWSP email account now, because a lot of important information is gonna be sent to you starting now. And then a confirmation of your housing assignment will be sent to you as well into your UWSP email. We're hoping that information along with move-in will be to you probably sometime in July. So like I said, just make sure that you're checking your email for that information. All right, and on to the next slide. Okay, so official move-in day is Saturday, August 29th. So make sure you mark that on your calendars, but we do want students to be aware that changes could happen due to COVID-19 and basically what has been going on. But just make sure to have that date in mind. But like I said previously, check your UWSP email because all of your housing information is going to be there. And if there are any changes or when there is, that information is going to be in your email. Otherwise, this concludes residential living. Thank you.
All right, Suzette, you are muted, but next up is dining and summer conferences.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Suzette Conley. I'm the Director of Dining and Summer Conferences. We are so excited that you're going to be joining us this fall, and I want to share all of the opportunities that are available to you through dining. We are a very much student-focused dining program, and students make up the vast majority of our staff. So we are always, always looking for student employees to join our team. We realize there's lots of unknowns this year with COVID. We're working diligently on making plans. My biggest stress throughout my presentation is going to be to continue to check our website for the most up-to-date information. But we'll talk about just kind of general things today. Again, check our website. So next slide, please. Michaela, there you go. Perfect. Joining dining. We are one of the largest employers on campus. We just have new rates that are employment starting rates that are starting this fall. So check out the new rates. You can apply online. You can be interviewed virtually. You can do a lot of your onboarding paperwork virtually, and we can get you onto campus with a job before school starts. So if you are looking for employment, we are certainly happy to help you. We've got some great benefits. We've got really flexible scheduling. We have got great opportunities for you to grow your leadership skills, your responsibility, your accountability, all of those kind of things. So please, please, please think about working for dining. We would love to have you with us. Variety of shifts from 5:30 in the morning until 11 o'clock at night, 7 days a week. So always lots of work available with dining. Next opportunity, or next slide, please. We have in total 5 different dining locations for you to eat on campus. The most exciting opportunity is in the DeBow Dining Center. The DeBow Dining Center was initially built in 1968. We just completed a $16.8 million renovation project in January of 2020. So we just got into this new space. It is beautiful. It is amazing. Students are loving it. It has a variety of food opportunities, 7 different stations. It is all you care to eat. One of the changes that will be happening this fall due to COVID is all of the food will be served to you. You will not be building your own. You will be not be serving yourself due to health regulations, but the opportunity for the all you care to eat concept will still be in Upper DuBois. Lower DuBois is our lower marketplace. There will be 3 food stations available down there, and also a variety of grab and go opportunities. It's also sort of our little mini convenience store on campus. So a great place to pick up soda, chips, ice cream, that kind of stuff. We also have the DUC, Dreyfus University Center food court. Again, think of it as a mall food court opportunity. There's 7 different food stations available there as well. And we have the Homegrown Cafe. I think we really focus on local Wisconsin products in this location. It's a nice little quick coffee shop to grab a snack or a beverage between classes. That also is in the Dreyfus University Center. And we have the Common Ground Cafe in the ChemBio building. This location features Starbucks products. So if you've got a Starbucks craving, get your beverage available in the Common Ground Cafe. Next slide, please. Net Nutrition. This is available to you online. It gives you the opportunity to see all of our menus in all of our locations by day and by meal. Should you have food allergies, you can filter by those allergies. As you see on the screen there, should you be allergic to eggs and fish and gluten, you can click all those things. Also then indicate where you're planning to dine, and that will then show you what's available that meets your dietary needs in that location for that meal. We have a registered dietitian, Becky Conkle, on our staff. She is exceptional at working with students with special dietary needs, figuring out how dining can make the meal plan work for them. So please, if you have any special dietary needs or questions, reach out to myself or Becky. Again, all of this is available on our website, and we are more than happy to help you with any questions you may have. Next slide, please. So much can be found on our website. Here's a brief picture of our main page. Working with dining, again, you can apply online, the dining locations. We'll have up-to-date hours and days that these locations will be open. We're still working through that with COVID. The meal plan options for the 2021 year is available here. It is 10, 14, or 19 meals per week. Again, you can look at those options here on this plan. You can check out our sustainable dining practices. We work diligently with the Sustainability Office on campus. We have made trays go away, so it is helped us with reducing our food waste. You see there on the right just the number of dollars spent on local purchases. We do our best to keep our money in Wisconsin. Anything else that you can find out about dining is here on our main webpage. So please give it a look and let us know if you have any questions. Next page, please. Again, just more shout outs. These are some of our student managers at student manager training this past semester, and our executive chef there to the right. So we do our best to provide sustainable, nutritious dining, inviting everyone to our table at UWSP, trying to be as inclusive as we possibly can. So hoping you'll join us. And if you have any questions, again, please send me an email, check out our website, and we'll do what we can to make you feel at home here at Point. I'm also going to let you know, okay, my bad. It's US Bank now, not Point Card, sorry. Or is it Point Card now? Okay, I'm gonna talk about the Point Card. John Jocelyn is the individual in charge of the Point Card, and he's not available today. The Point Card is your access to everything on campus. The Point Card is your key to get your textbooks at the textbook rental in the bookstore. It will have your meal plan access. You have to have your point card to get into any of the dining locations or pay for any of your dining purchases. You can use your point card as your bus pass. All of the buses in Stevens Point accept your point card as your ticket to get onto the bus free of charge. Your point card is necessary to get into any event programming, be that something with athletics, be that something at the Fine Arts Center, be that a movie in the Dreyfus University Center. Anything that would require a ticket, you can use your point card to get into as a student. You also need your point card to do laundry in the residence halls. The laundry machines do not take quarters, they only take point cash. Point cash is something that you will deposit, say $50 on, and you can use your point cash to do your laundry, to make copies in the library, to pay for things in dining locations. You can also use point cash at a variety of local businesses. Some of the grocery stores here in town take point cash. There's a list, again, at the point card website that shows all the locations that currently accept point cash. That's ever changing, so reminder to keep checking that. There's always, you will need to check out the information you got for incoming students. You'll be uploading your picture through the GET application to get your picture on your point card for your use during your career at UWSP. One of John's favorite stories, and I don't know the details completely, but you get one point card, and then after that, if you lose your point card, you have to pay to replace your point card. So he really, really, really stresses that you keep a close eye on your point card and that you do your best to bring it with you if you're planning to eat, if you're planning to get books, all that kind of stuff. So once you get it, hold on to it like it's gold, because it almost is. That's all I can share with you about the point card, but again, we will have a question and answer at the end, and hopefully other people will be able to answer questions as well.
Thank you. And then we'll turn it over to Shane for US Bank.
Hi, so again, my name is Shane, and I am the branch manager here at the US Bank in the Dreyfus University Center. I'm not exactly sure who has all had a chance to tour campus or anything yet, but if you are familiar, there's the building called the Dreyfus University Center, the DUC. It's where the bookstore is located. There's a few of the dining locations. You'll probably have a few of your class meetings in here. There's a little theater in here. So you'll spend quite a bit of time kind of throughout the school year over here. And then we are located in here as well. So a little bit about US Bank and kind of the physical presence we have on campus. We do have a full service branch right here in this building. It's open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And then we also have 3 ATMs scattered around campus. We have one right here in the DUC. We have one over in DeVoe Dining Center. And then we also have one in Champions Hall. So kind of spread out throughout campus. So it makes it real convenient, easy for you to get cash or make deposits kind of no matter where you are in campus. We've been on campus for probably about 13 years, I believe it's been. And we have some really great partnerships with the point card, how you can make that an all-in-one card for you. And I'll get to talk a little bit about that in a moment. But just a little bit more kind of what US Bank does and why we're here. The university really felt that there was a need to have a financial partner on campus just to make it a little bit easier for you to manage your finances and get questions answered while you're here. You might be feeling pretty comfortable about kind of how you did your budgeting and everything in high school, but things like that do change a little bit when you're going into college. You might have different expenses, you might have different type of income. Your family might not be as close to kind of ask those simple questions for. So really having a bank on campus is really just one easy way for it to take a little bit of stress off your shoulders and knowing that the resource is here for you. And, absolutely any kind of question that you have, we're here to help out with. We just want to really make sure that you're successful, not only in your classes or sports and all of that, but as much as we can do over the next 4 to 5 years to really help you get financially fit as well. So then when you get to graduation and kind of get those new jobs, you're feeling really comfortable about how the money works and how you're going to do that yourself. So some things that I would start to ask yourself over the summer before you come to campus, just some kind of questions regarding money and money management that you're going to do. So one question to maybe talk over with your family or your parents on there is going to be, how will you access your money when you're here on campus? Do you have a bank account set up already? where can you get money in case of emergency? How will mom or dad send you money? And how much money will you need? It's not always one of those questions that come up like when you're in like a group of friends or kind of at the dinner table or anything like that, but it is definitely an important thing. There is a lot that kind of revolves around your college life and personal life that does have money involved with it. So I'd really recommend starting to kind of think of that game plan of like what those look like for you and how you're really going to like manage that while you're here on campus. You might be a couple hours away from home, and I just want to make sure that you're comfortable and have that ease of mind knowing that you have like some resources here in town for you. We do quite a bit with US Bank outside of the branch as well. So I really like working here. It's been about 5 years now that I've been on campus, and I'd say that it's a really different setting that we have here compared to if you're just like driving through your town and past like a bank or a US Bank branch back in your hometown. US Bank really supports the university, and we are a resource just like any other department on campus for you. So I want to make sure that you always feel comfortable like coming to us to reach out. Seeing US Bank, it's not that we're just like some business that's inside the building here for you. The reason that we're here is for you students. So just always feel comfortable, to come in. Whether you're banking with us or not, I just want to make sure that you know that we're a resource just like anyone else, that you can come visit us. Throughout the school year, what we do, we also teach a handful of financial literacy events. So again, going back to making sure that you're financially fit over these next few years, there's a handful of events that we kind of partner up with some of your classes, and that will allow you to learn ways to maybe build a budget, how credit works, the different type of student loans, how to avoid scams. There's a ton of different items that we do on there. So some of them will already be kind of set in there that you might see offered through some of your classes or extra credit. But another thing is if you are in the dorms or anything and you realize that there is maybe a need that needs to be met, you can always come visit us, and we can always throw something together for you and come right to you and present to you and your friends. But again, we are super flexible with kind of like getting out and about around campus. So anything that you might need, just let us know, and we are more than happy to come to you and kind of teach you a few things about different finances. We also have some scholarship opportunities. US Bank in whole is all about college and students. So through our website on usbank.com, there's a really great financial kind of education that you can win some scholarships through. So I would recommend kind of checking that out if you have some time. I believe the top prize or top scholarship, it's about $20,000 that you can win. So it really shows that, US Bank is supporting you throughout your college career. So you'll get some more information a little bit later in the summer about that, how you can kind of access those scholarship opportunities. But you can also check with the SGA. That's another great way to kind of see any kind of like scholarships kind of throughout campus. And scholarships are really great because it's free money that you get and you don't have to pay it back. So I would really recommend like applying for as many as you can, taking the extra few hours throughout the week or so, and really filling out as many applications as you can, because long term, you're really going to be thankful, maybe a little bit less in loans that you had to take out. And again, the scholarships are like a really great opportunity. So always kind of look for those opportunities out there. US Bank also has a great partnership with our athletic department. So we do have a few sponsorships throughout the year. So we'll probably be next to you in the stands when we're watching like some hockey games, basketball games. A lot of the times we get to go and participate, compete against you guys. So we might be doing like a 3-point free throw contest or something like that on there. So again, really want to kind of make it, fun, and we're not scary people at the bank. So we're part of campus, so always feel free to reach out. If you want to go on to the next slide for me, we'll go a little bit more into talking about kind of the specifics about what a US Bank offers as far as like the branch itself. Kind of going back to the point card, one option that you do have to link up with the point card is linking it up with your student ID. As Suzette mentioned before, it's kind of that student ID is something that you're going to have on you pretty much all the time around campus because it really gets you into everything. With a student ID, if you do have a US Bank account, you can actually add cash access to your student ID. So if you have, say, a US Bank checking account set up and you tie that up with your student ID, you can actually use that student ID at like an ATM machine, a gas station, a grocery store, really anywhere that accepts a PIN number. So it's nice in case like you leave your purse or wallet back in your dorm room and you need to get a little bit of money out to buy something on campus. If you got your student ID with you, you can actually use that to make a purchase and it comes right out of your checking account. So that's a really neat way to just to have a backup with a little bit easier cash flow to use on there. If we go to the next slide. So the checking account, it is definitely optional on campus. It is something that I would recommend. When coming to campus, I do recommend having some type of bank account set up locally here in Stevens Point, whether that's going to be US Bank or not. There's just a handful of different reasons why it's nice to have kind of that physical branch presence like right in town here for you, compared to having like a branch that's maybe 3 hours away from campus. I know that there's a lot that you can do now, like with the online banking and relying on your debit card, but unfortunately there's things that might happen throughout the school year that cause a little bit of kind of an interference with that. Maybe you get locked out of your online banking, or maybe your debit card goes missing. It's ways that they can be fixed, but it does kind of cause you a little bit of a headache in the meantime. Might take a week to get a new debit card in the mail. And if that's kind of what you're relying on for the main part of your finances, you know, I don't want to leave you stranded here and maybe you can't go home a weekend because you can't get gas or something like that. So having that account here in town, it just gives you a little bit more flexibility of being able to stop by there and maybe grabbing like a quick $20 out of an account. But, you know, definitely something that I would also recommend talking about on there. If you would happen to go with US Bank, we are the only bank that is here on campus. So if you're kind of, you know, really staying around campus, maybe don't have a vehicle or anything, it's a really great option for you. Our accounts, they are free to have, so there are no minimum balance requirements or monthly maintenance fees on there. Some people use the accounts for their like everyday, day-to-day purchases, when they're buying coffee, buying lunch, online shopping. Other people will kind of use it as that backup account, where maybe they have like $40 for like a little fun money account or emergency funds. It's really up to you to decide how you'd want to use your account, but there's no like limitations of like what you need to do to maintain the account. I would really recommend, you know, trying it out the first year or so, see how things go. I have a good feeling that you probably use it a decent amount, but, you know, if not, at least, you know, it's there for a little bit of that ease of mind going through it as well. Our online banking system is really great as well. We have a lot of features on there with sending money back and forth to people, make it really easy for you to receive money like from family back home if they need to send you anything. We have like that mobile check deposit. So really anything you can do now with US Bank, you can do right from your mobile phone, which is also a really great feature. So there are ways, if you're not on campus, there are still ways to kind of get started with that. And you're going to receive some information in the mail over the next couple weeks. They kind of are going to be coming in like a bigger white envelope. So keep an eye out for that, but it's going to have a little bit more information about the point card in general, and then a little bit of how you're able to add that US Bank feature on there as well. So there's a really easy way to open that. You just go on usbank.com/UWSP, and it'll bring you right to the university and US Bank's website that's shared together, and really easy process. And I'd say within about 10 minutes, you can have like a new account started. So then when you get here to campus, you know everything's ready to go and one less thing you have to worry about. So really keep an eye out for those information that you're going to be getting in the mail, because it's going to have that little site on there, as well as a little bit more information about the bank account itself. And then my email will be on there. So if anyone has questions, absolutely reach out at any time, and we can kind of get you started from there. But that's kind of everything I have US Bank related. But again, you know, in the future, if you have any kind of financial questions, absolutely feel free to reach out anytime, and then we'll point you in the right direction.
Awesome. Well, thank you all very much for sharing your wealth of knowledge. So I think right now we'll kind of turn it over to our peer mentors and see if there was any questions that came up in your chats that you guys wanted to share with the group.
Yeah, I had one that popped up that definitely could be useful for a lot of people. We had a question probably for Danielle about room size. One person says, I have a single room and I was wondering what the size of the room I would most likely be getting. I know they come in different dimensions, but what are they kind of looking for a room size?
Actually, I'm going to toss this over to Amanda. Amanda, do you know the true specifications?
I believe they're 10 by 12s. I think it's on our website. I'll have to look it up really quick.
Yeah.
But if you are in a single occupancy room, because you've been granted that or you were assigned to that as a returner student, it is the same size as if you were living with 2 people. You get 2 of everything. All of our single rooms have been occupied by returning students, so the only way to obtain a single room at this time is through a medical accommodation. You can sign up to be interested in one on your housing application. and that puts you on the wait list for a single. However, that doesn't mean that you will be given a single, but they are the same size room as all of our other rooms on campus.
Lovely. Yeah, so that was kind of the main one that I got. And then I was asked if there was an app to check our point cache. And I think I can answer that there. For point cache, we still check on MyPoint, correct? Yeah, so yeah, the MyPoint will be used. You can check your balance on there. You can upload more money to it if you would like to. And then also every time you use your point card, it should give you an updated balance of how much point cache you do have. So unfortunately no app, but you can just check online and you'll get your balance there. And those are all the questions that I got.
Awesome. I see that Emily has her hand raised.
So they're actually, sorry to like contradict, but there is an app called Get. I only know because I use it for the point cache that I use when living in the hall. So if you, it's literally GET and it's like a gray symbol. I'm trying to find it on my phone now so I can show you, but yeah, so it's like a gray symbol with a white circle with GET in white letters. And you can log in, and that is the app that like they update all of like your meal swipes that you'll have and the point cache that you have too. So
great. I didn't know that. Thank you, Emily. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Awesome. Alexis, did you have any questions from yours?
Yeah, I have a few. So one student asked if they do a random roommate, when they would know who their roommate is.
If you select your room and there's already someone in it, you'll be able to see the name of that person. You'll be able to see their profile information, so how they answered questions. So as soon as you select that room, you would be able to see that. If you go into a room that is currently empty, that means that someone could come in and select that space after you. And there's a way that you will see your housing assignment information and roommate information all summer long. It's part of your application. Once you select a room, you'll be taken to your housing assignment information and your roommate information. There's a way to message your roommate and again, see their profile of how they answered some questions.
And then another one I had, but I already answered it, but I feel it's a good question for everyone to know. They asked, if you're commuting from home to school, are you still able to get into the residence hall with your friends that live there, or is there a restriction?
I think I can take this one too. I think there's a lot of questions that we still need to figure out in light of COVID. You don't get an access card to the residence halls. Only our students who live there get access cards to the residence hall. If you're a guest or a visitor, you would need to be with that resident of that hall at all times. But we are still working through some of the CDC recommendations with the residence halls. And so guests may be very limited in the fall until we can have more answers about COVID-19.
Awesome. Was there any other questions from Alexis or Keegan?
That's all I had.
I had one more. I have a question regarding the leadership team and working at the front desk. How would I sign up for that?
Ooh, I think that would be a great question for one of the hall directors if you want to take that over.
Yeah, so for leadership team and front desk are two different ones. So I'll talk about front desk, and Brittany, you can talk about leadership team. But before I do that, I've also looked up dimensions of the rooms for those that were asking. They're 10 feet by 8 inches and then 14 to 15 feet the other way. So those who are wondering, that's your dimensions. It's also on our website under residence halls. If you click on any of our halls, they have room plans laid out there, so you can reference that as well. But for front desks, you would apply for that through Quest, which is the online hiring system that we use for campus. And so any student job that you want on campus will be posted there, and you'll just follow the instructions on how to apply. And then we would be contacting you in August to set up interviews with our desk managers, and they would hire you from there. So it's an online process, and then you would go through a phone interview to be selected.
Okay. So in regards to joining your hall's leadership team, each hall has their own recruitment process. So the best way would be, once you figure out what hall you're in, to reach out to your hall director. So you can look on the Res Living webpage and see contact information for which hall directors in each building. And then just sending them an email, they'll be able to let you know when they're going to be doing like their first kind of meeting for the semester to kind of get the team coordinated. You can also talk to your RA, your resident assistant, when you move in, and they'll get you connected with the leadership team, get you connected with the hall director. But the first week or so, each hall is recruiting incoming students, returning students, trying to get a group of volunteers that want to work together to do programming for the year. So it's just getting in contact with the hall staff.
Awesome. And then I'm going to go back to the peer mentors. Was there any other questions that came in?
That is all I have. If anybody out there, if you have any questions at all, I would say now is the time. We can give another minute or so. I know there's always those questions that you have that you're like, oh, I don't want to ask it, but now's the time. We are here to help you. So if you're wondering anything at all, feel free to shoot it our way.
I received one. This one's more for you, Michaela. If we will be doing virtual tours of just the resident halls.
That's a great option. It's something I haven't been in any conversations if that has been an option. I know that Residential Living is planning on doing some intentional outreach throughout the summer. So I didn't know if you guys had anything in the plans for that. So maybe Danielle or Amanda could kind of touch on that or see if it's an option.
Well, Amanda, I don't know if you want to chime in too. I know we have videos currently on our website that kind of showcase the quads. We created those this year with our multimedia coordinator. I know there was a group that was filming like a day in a life of a resident hall student. I'm not sure if that is still in the works or not. But as it goes for a true virtual where you get those 360 spans, that I'm not sure of. I don't know. Amanda, do you know anything else?
So I just posted a link in the chat for everyone. It's our residence hall room information that does have the videos. And then you can click through the different buildings. So all of our rooms are basically the same with a few minor things for the size, but on average, they're all the same. They all look the same. All of the 8 DeBow buildings are exactly the same amount of rooms in the building. And what those rooms look like and the layout. So a lot of our buildings are all exactly the same, but you can definitely check out the videos there on that link that I just posted.
And we also have pictures of styles of rooms where they're decorated and laid out once students get their lofts and other items in. So you can even check out our room page as well too, where it gives you more information into how the room will look once you start bringing in your belongings in there.
Awesome. I did have one question come into me. They were looking at that packing list that you all provided for STAR and then also on your website for students to take advantage of. They were questioning with the Ethernet cord that it says to pack one. Could you explain a little bit more about what that looks like, or is Wi-Fi something they can just connect to rather than a cord?
Wi-Fi is what they'll be able to connect to. We put the Ethernet cord in there just in case if some students will need that for specific, tech equipment or other types of things they would bring with them. But majority of students, if they have a laptop, computer, PC system that they're able to connect to through Wi-Fi, that is how they're going to be able to. But it's just nice to have that additional Ethernet cord if you have other additional tech equipment that, would be essential for that.
I would also say that while this does not happen very often, there may be an incident where the Wi-Fi goes down, but the plug-in internet is still working. So it's nice to have that backup. And like Danielle said, a lot of like gaming consoles and things like that, it's easier to hook up to the wired internet rather than the Wi-Fi.
I was just going to add, some residence halls desks also have Ethernet. So like I know Prairie Sims, we have Ethernet cords that we loan out to students, but it's easy, like a lot of the times IT will like recommend it for the gaming systems, because if you want the best quality or the best experience with your gaming system, the Wi-Fi can kind of bog down not only your gaming system, but like everyone else around you. So the ability to connect via Ethernet helps not only you, but your neighbors, which everyone then appreciates.
Awesome. Any other questions from the group?
I have none.
Alrighty. Well, I'm going to end my screen share. Welcome back to see everyone. And so from here on out, I just want to say thank you to our presenters and also our attendees for attending and giving us your wealth of knowledge and all of that greatness. I think it was really helpful. Something for you all to know is that we do have future webinars happening. And so if you are interested in signing up for another webinar, whether that's another topic or a special topic area, those options are still available to you. And we are also working on adding more dates for some topics. So those can be found on our University Star website page. I will be sending out a wrap-up email to all of our attendees today, where it's going to include a survey. So please fill that out to share on your experiences, but then also some other contact information and resources that we mentioned in this webinar. So for instance, it's going to be linked to Residential Living's website. There's some information on the dining. I made sure to write down that we put in our visit aspects for online visits if you want to tour the university through there. So there's a lot of great resources that I'm going to share in that wrap-up email, and I'll also include the link if you're interested in signing up for future webinars or if you have not signed up for other ones yet. So feel free to do that. If you have any other questions, feel free to hang around, or you guys are free to go. Thank you once again.
Thanks for coming, everybody.
Have a great day. Enjoy your weekends.